2016 is officially a decade old, so why does everybody still try to bring it back? If you scrolled through Instagram lately, your feed has probably felt like a time machine. Oversaturated throwback pics, old 2016 memes, and take me back captions under every dog filter selfie. However, the reason why 2016 refuses to die isn't strictly aesthetics, it's the soundtrack.
When I'm sober, I just don't like who I am.
I ain't gonna say everybody want to be us, but
man,
everybody want to be us.
I ain't say it, he said.
2016 marked a turning point in both rap and music forever. And now, over 10 years later, searches for 2016 songs and playlists continue to hit record peaks, with some such as Drake's One Dance literally seeing its biggest streaming days since release. Which then forces us to wonder, was 2016 really that great? Or are we all just blinded by nostalgia?
Damn, Daniel! Damn, Daniel! Back at it again with the white van!
Dudes love 2016 more than they own chick, reads this viral post on X, referring to the time back when the site was still called Twitter, and before users got paid to post rage bait or AI slop. However, every social media site is joining in on this new trend. Even Elmo is. This trend of reminiscing on what felt like overall better days, and to quote, treat 2026 like it's the new 2016.
All over social media, it's the year 2016 all over again.
Collectively, it's 2016 again. I'm down for it.
2016 was the greatest year in human history.
According to TikTok, a platform that, keep in mind, didn't exist 10 years ago, because instead we had Vine, TikTok searches for 2016 have surged by more than 450% in this past week. While on Snapchat, the home of the famous dog filter, Snapchat is currently witnessing an even bigger spike in 2016 searches. But it doesn't stop there.
In case you haven't all heard, all things 2016 are indeed back, including the music. And according to Spotify, there's been nearly an 800% increase in user-generated 2016 playlists.
On the music side of things, 2016 playlists are blowing up like crazy, with multiple songs actually going viral enough to re-enter the Billboard charts. Apple Music has even dedicated an entire section of their discovery page to Welcome Back 2016, which then raises the same question the New York Times asks. Why do we still want it to be 2016? What was it that made this year so special? Even rappers themselves keep referencing it. In order to answer this, we must separate the facts from the feeling, and turn the clocks back to 2016.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup, oh, blocked by James! Gives it to Jenkins for the championship!
We have to score the
creepy clown sightings across the United States.
Dozens of reports of threatening clowns.
To Gen Z and millennials, 2016 is essentially our 80s, a golden era that will forever be talked about, this legendary untouchable year that will always be remembered. And, at least when we look at music specifically, it's very easy to understand why.
No, but looking back at 2016, albums that turned 10, Coloring Book, Chance the Rapper, that was a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
Drake Views,
Fine.
Blank Face Schoolboy Q, it's a lot of fire in here, bro.
Life of Pablo.
While the first thing that 2016 rap may bring to a lot of your minds is the iconic XXL freshman class, and we'll get to them in a sec. For hip-hop's mainstream giants, though, they weren't only active all year. For many, this was their peak. Besides coining the phrase Summer 16, naming his 60-date collab tour with Future this, as well as his new single.
All summer 16, playing dirty, not clean.
From a numbers standpoint, 2016 saw Drake release the biggest album of his career, selling a mind-blowing 1 million copies first week, thanks to year-defining hits Hotline Bling and One Dance. As the photoshopped cover art shows, Drake was on top of the world. But so was Kanye. Years before he began recording songs in praise of the worst human to ever walk Earth, Kanye West not only dropped his 7th studio album, The Life of Pablo, on Tidal, remember Tidal, along with hosting his listening event at Madison Square Garden. 2016 also brought us the St. Pablo Tour, where, despite risking a lawsuit every night, Kanye and his team pulled off one of the coolest stage designs in concert history. Well, that was, at least, until the tour was abruptly cancelled.
Radio you! Radio you! Wait a second, you saying, wait a second. Hey, is it radio? That's what you saying? Exactly. Get ready to have a field day for us. Get ready. For the show's over.
We start this half hour with word that Kanye West is waking up in a Los Angeles hospital, where he's now under observation, reportedly for exhaustion and stress.
As of this video, the St. Pablo Tour remains Kanye West's last concert run in the US, and due to his actions as of late, who knows what arenas will allow him back inside. Yet, to join in on this stellar year, following some encouragement from LeBron, Kendrick Lamar then decided to treat his fans with a compilation of tracks from the vault, untitled and unmastered.
And obviously, good friend of mine, Kendrick, blessed me, with that album that just dropped. So I can even lock in with that, kind of use that as motivation going forward. So shout out Kendrick, top dog. Cleveland, this is for you.
Using Kendrick's album as motivation to pull off his historic 3-1 comeback and beat the Warriors in arguably the best NBA Finals in history, with Jay-Z and Beyonce courtside, that was after surprising the world with her new album out of nowhere, Lemonade. J. Cole then came through with For Your Eyes Only, The Weeknd top charts with Starboy, Future kept us overly fed like he always has, while on the other hand, for megastars Rihanna and Frank Ocean, 2016 saw them release their last albums to date, and at this point, possibly ever. My 2016 post wins, and came this rare post by Rihanna celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Anti, and claiming that she won the social media trend. However, despite the internet's nonstop desire to rewind a decade, here's the reality you have to consider. What truly made 2016 so special wasn't just the superstars who dominated, but what was happening around them, or in particular, the rising wave beneath.
He said, late night got a late show. Everybody, let's get it. Top influences? I was like, whoa.
Many of the most popular names in music today took that crucial next step of their career back in 2016. First, we had Travis Scott deliver his sophomore album, Birds in the Trap, featuring the highest certified rap song in history, the 17-time platinum Goosebumps. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, the Migos secured their first #1 and had the game on lock with Bad and Bougie.
And I really want to thank the Migos, not for being in the show, but for making Bad and Bougie. Like, that's the best song ever. So,
I ain't left out Bad and Bougie. You think I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
Say again?
You say I'm left out Bad and Bougie?
What you say?
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
What'd you say?
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Nah!
Young Thug gave us 2 of his best projects, Slime Season 3 and Jeffrey. Post Malone, Stoney, Ray Shremmerd, Shrem Live 2, which of course sparked the viral mannequin challenge for Black Beatles. And despite this guy's hard downfall that followed,
Rolling Stone magazine called our next guest mixtape the best hip-hop album of the year. Here to perform No Problem, please welcome Chance the Rapper.
Led by the aux cord guarantee No Problem and his coloring book mixtape, 2016 was also when Chance the Rapper's hype was at an all-time high, with some even going as far to argue that Chance was next to join hip-hop's Big Three, big enough to sell out his own festival at the White Sox Stadium and stack it with A-list talent, plus a surprise performance by Kanye West that I actually attended. Like his verse on Ultralight Beam, 2016 really felt like Chance the Rapper couldn't fail. But while this year would unfortunately mark the prime for many of these big giants, something way more important was still happening underneath. The XXL freshman list was first created way back in 2007. However, in 2016, it wasn't just a magazine cover, but rather this class became the blueprint for hip-hop's next era.
This might be the most flexing class that y'all done had.
Man, we just flexing. For real.
Yeah, and we the youngest class.
Yeah, you already know how we come.
I just got out of high school.
I ain't go to high school.
Led by Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Denzel Curry, and Designer, back when Panda was the #1 song in the world, often labeled by old heads as, quote, mumble rap, although, as we're about to see, this generation was very controversial. Their cypher, though, literally sits at nearly 250 million views, certifying XXL's 2016 class easily the most successful.
All these niggas stealing my stuff, and I get my flow back. Wasn't no food for rice. All these bitches, they want me, but they get one night. So who the f*** is the sorry ass beat? I'm from the ugly.
Rather than taking things super serious and treating rap like the lyrical Olympics, this new wave that emerged leaned into energy, personality, and just straight up fun. A shift that felt much needed. Artists were not afraid to push against the industry's old rules and pave their own way. Their genuine love for music shined, compared to nowadays where artists can often feel corporate and fake. But to add to the year's already loaded lineup, this class gave us Savage Mode 1, Lil Boat 1, Imperial by Denzel Curry, plus we definitely can't forget 2016 watched Lil Uzi Vert drop his 2 breakout mixtapes back to back, within only a 3-month span.
Hey, what's up? It's Lil Uzi Vert, and I'm 2016 XXL freshman.
Even Uzi himself still acknowledges how fire his run was in 2016. But with that said, it wasn't only because we were getting flooded with fire hits left and right, but also how they were releasing their music. SoundCloud. This little orange logo truly changed the game 10 years ago. Although not created in 2016, this was when SoundCloud became the go-to streaming service where these rising rappers would post their music for fans. And the best part was, not only was it free, but with no record labels micromanaging their releases or forcing them to do a bunch of corny promo. This meant artists could drop tracks on SoundCloud whenever they wanted.
What did you post on SoundCloud? White
Yes,
Iverson.
sir. White Iverson. Yes, sir.
You're just another schlub living at home.
Yes, sir.
And you posted on SoundCloud.
The night it was done, I was like, let's just fucking put it up. What's the worst that could happen?
I would drop a song and Uzi would drop 2-3 songs, just bump me down to number 3, number 4. And I'm like, you doing that shit on purpose? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy. That was like crazy. Like it was real. Like people were fucking with SoundCloud.
People were indeed SoundCloud heavy. So much so that it even sparked its own subgenre known as SoundCloud rap, characterized by face tattoos and auto-tune. However, all the help of SoundCloud in this new generation was able to help push rap up to the #1 genre in the world for the first time ever. Not everybody was loving it.
We call it mumble rap.
Oh, so y'all got a name for it?
Yeah, me and my homies. I mean, it ain't no disrespect to the little homies.
That's what's wrong right now. Everybody trying to rap the same style with the, I don't know who created it, if it was Future or Migos, but all the sound the same.
Y'all get to like 27, 28, and y'all get to struggling, and y'all be trying to come back
tell
to
you
find
what,
that sound.
I ain't gonna struggle, bro.
All right, we're gonna see.
We gonna learn.
And guess what? I'm gonna be here.
Due to their unique styles and flows that again challenged the industry's typical norms, fans of more older lyrical hip-hop were far less fast to accept this next generation. But, as Denzel Curry said though,
y'all want to talk about, oh, this not hip-hop, this not rap, y'all doing this mumbling shit, da-da-da-da-da. But back in the day, y'all used to be like, hey, you there. I'm at the store. I hate the judge, and I love war. Like, when we get older, we probably might be judging that shit. We probably might be like, that's just the times. It's just the times, bro. Let the times be.
whether you were a fan of this new wave or not, you could not deny they were taking over. However, they weren't doing it alone. Besides XXL, on the media side of things, 2016 was when Cole Bennett launched Lyrical Lemonade and began shooting music videos, providing an early platform for these guys such as Lil Pump, Famous Dex, or Smoke Perp, for example. At the same time too, when No Jumper exploded. Although pretty controversial today, old No Jumper on YouTube will always be goated. As with his deep catalog of legendary interviews, Adam22 allowed fans to see into a different side of these rappers, sitting down with them face to face.
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Today we're here with
XXX Tentacion.
The 2016 wave of rising creatives even expanded into streetwear too, from brands such as Bape, Supreme, or Virgil Abloh's Off-White, all putting their fresh spin on hip-hop fashion. Yet, right when you thought it could possibly get better, even Gucci Mane was freed out of prison in 2016.
First day out.
First day out the feds. Appreciate y'all support on that.
Some people seriously believe that the stars of the galaxy were perfectly aligned in 2016. However, while others believe that since Fetty Wap now just got out of jail, another 2016 legend, then perhaps this might mean 2026 will be just as perfect. So, can we actually bring back 2016?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
As much as I hate to disappoint you guys, the short answer is no, unless you're hiding some secret time machine. Yet, it's not because artists aren't talented anymore, there aren't platinum hits, or we don't still get viral memes, or because you think I'm one of those old heads now who hates on everything new, but rather it's because people don't simply miss 2016's music, they miss the overall feeling, how they felt back in 2016, where they were at in their younger life.
Apparently they're romanticizing being a teenager in 2016, and honestly they should. That shit was like the roaring 20s for our generation. That shit was Great Gatsby. The average weekend in 2016, I'm literally on the way to a function whose address I got off Snapchat. I'm in a packed car. People actually could talk to people. There was no like attention disorder. You could literally be having a conversation with somebody and get to know them and not be like checking your phone every 5 seconds.
In a time before algorithms ruled, and long before we had to question if what we're looking at is actually real or made by AI, the internet overall was a much more carefree and less judgmental place. For example, people would post what they had for lunch on Instagram. As a post, of course, since stories were yet to exist. Just like how TikTok wasn't around either, so nobody was addicted to doom scrolling, and thankfully for music, we didn't have rappers blowing up of a 15-second snippet only to disappear just as fast.
But it's like, I don't know, it's like a weird place for music right now, and it's like, I feel like most of this is like TikTok, can dance to your or something like that, it go better.
It's people blowing up off 15 seconds of their song. They don't even know the rest of the song, they
That's
just
what
know
I'm
that part.
As hard as it may be to believe, 2016 was also still the time before gambling ads were slapped in our face every second. The most streamed rapper Drake wasn't spamming our feeds with steak posts. Coronavirus wasn't even a word yet. And for most of us, our biggest worry was playing Pokemon Go on our iPhone 7. Or if Harambe was gonna survive.
This morning, the Cincinnati Zoo defending its decision to put down the 17-year-old endangered silverback named Harambe.
That child's life was in danger.
Unfortunately, Harambe didn't. However, the fact that we all still remember this random gorilla brings us back to our overall truth. Maybe most of the 2016 craze is really nostalgia. Maybe we're all just entering that next stage of adulthood now and reminiscing on our younger years. Back when we were kids, had less responsibilities, and didn't have to work a job to pay any bills. Plus, when we consider the current state of the world today, and how it feels like there's another tragic or controversial headline each time we log online, to be honest, it makes sense why you might want to go back.
2016 is trending right now. Why do you think that is?
People tend to be nostalgic when they're anxious about the future. And so I think this generation is dealing with those anxieties, and they're using nostalgia as a way to respond to them.
As much as we all joke about treating 2026 like 2016, the truth is we can't rewind time. However, here's the good news. 2016 proved to us that the culture can shift overnight and the next wave can rise out of nowhere. So rather than trying to relive past moments, instead, let's focus on creating new ones.